everyone, my name is Miranda and today I'm here to review episode 5 of The Gifted. And really quickly, if you haven't seen my review of the previous episodes, I'll leave links to those in the description box down below for you if you want to check those out. But Gifted, this episode, like I said, is kind of like the new rebrand version, I guess, in a way, because we've gotten the gang back together, so to speak. Reed is back with the family, and as probably anyone could have predicted, the Underground ain't doing so, they're not so welcoming to Reed because, you know, a lot of their friends have disappeared or been prosecuted because of him. So, yeah, it was kind of about the Strucker family, I think, proving their worth in a way, proving that they're on the mutant side completely and they're not gonna turn and run. And so it was cool to see how we had Reed using his knowledge of Sentinel services to try and help Johnny out, and how we also saw Lauren, Andy, and Caitlin were trying to save the dude who had gotten shot in the last episode, and how both of their respective things there, they not only like showed that they are truly on the mutant side, but that they also kind of have a place here and like they can be helpful and help these people out and not just kind of dead space, I guess. Like, it's interesting, I think, to find out that you actually have a purpose that you didn't think you originally had. And I really, really love that now they're going to be more willing to be part of the Mutant Underground. I think that's the best part about it, is that they're not kind of shying away from this and being like, we just want to get to Mexico, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're like, we can do some good here and we can help these people, so let's do it. I do think I was worried, and I don't know if it was fully solved, but I feel like this is where opposition to Johnny's leadership could come in potentially, because now they have even more mutants there because of Jace's whole crackdown on getting every sympathizer, every safe house, blah, blah, blah. They have so many more people in the Underground now, like way more than they can actually fit, so I'm worried that like maybe not everyone is going to start agreeing with Johnny's leadership. So Lorna, I feel like, has kind of, they've hinted at, I feel like, that she's kind of like the co-leader with him. We haven't really seen it, obviously, because she's been in jail, but just the way they talk, like they're the ones that founded it. And I feel like what I expected was that Lorna was going to be very different after getting out of prison, and that so far has been pretty true. Like, I think Marcos was kind of surprised by how far she was willing to go to get the information about Pulse out of Jace. And I think it's true because she's seen the darker side. Like, she's had a collar put on her. She's been beaten up with no one protecting her. She's had people try and basically go after her baby. They put her in solitary confinement. Like, I don't think she's in, obviously, a very compromise, you know, like a place where she wants to compromise and be the better person right now, because I feel like she just is especially terrified now that mutants can be turned against each other, like Pulse, which I think is a very, very real fear. And I noticed it last episode. I said that's like one of the most horrifying things that could happen, is you being used as a weapon against your friends. And even that's what Lorna said. She figured out that that's what they were planning to do to her, which I think makes sense, because I feel like that's what I thought, like their underground security locations that are like top secret. I feel like that's what they are. They're like mind control facilities or whatever, where they're turning mutants into weapons for the other side. And I do have to say, I don't know if Jace fully knows. I feel like he knows maybe potentially like what these underground facilities are, but I'm wondering if he knows like how bad they are, because like that's taking away someone's free will. And I really struggle with Jace, because I feel like in the beginning they were making him be more of a sympathetic character and like someone that we're going to be like, oh, he's going to start to come to our side, or like he just thinks he's doing the right thing, kind of like Reed. But I feel like the more we see of him, the more he is like determined to take down the mutants and not really even caring anymore if they do anything bad or not. And if he does know that Pulse has been mind controlled and is like going along with that, then I think that will cement him in my mind as a villain. I do say that like I felt somewhat bad for him when he had to relive the memory of his daughter dying, because Dreamer, obviously she didn't intentionally do that. She wanted to try and fix his memory. She said, I can't leave him like this. But like, to me, that's just like, from Jace's point of view, that's unforgivable. To make you lose someone that close to you twice, I can't even imagine how that feels. And that scene was absolutely heartbreaking. Like, my jaw dropped and I was just like, no, like this is horrible. So I can see him being even more pissed off now and everything, because that's just horrible, like I said. So I know it's not Dreamer's fault, and I know, you know, I feel like they're kind of hinting at Dreamer maybe struggling with her powers in upcoming episodes, because not only is she going to have this with Jace that I feel like is going to weigh on her, but also Eclaris finally confronted her and realized that she had played with her memories and was like, what you do is wrong. Your powers are wrong. And I feel like that's like a big thing to say to a mutant, because it's like kind of making it like, your powers make you a bad person. Your powers are bad. How do you work with that? So I feel like she might start to struggle with that a lot, because it is true in that she's manipulating people in a way, and it's kind of like I could see where she struggles with like, am I a good person or do my powers automatically make me bad? I don't know. Right now, like, I had to bet if like someone wasn't gonna make it out of the season, I feel like it would be Dreamer. Also really loved Marcos and Lorna finally getting to see them back together when they were happy, at least, not when they were fighting. I feel like because they were fighting, definitely Lorna's being more intense, as is kind of expected, like I said, with everything that's gone on in going after Centennial Services. And even from the preview, it looks like they are now gonna bring the fight to Centennial Services. They're not just gonna wait around and hiding to be picked off one by one anymore. It's kind of like there was this unspoken rule of like, don't bug us and we won't go after you. And now that rule has been blown out of the water, so now they're going to be hunting them. But I did really like seeing Lorna and Marcos happy about the baby and thinking of names, because Aurora and Rory are just such cute names, I feel like, for them. You know, it's like literally fan fiction, I felt like, the way they were talking. And it was just so adorable to see them back together and happy, I think, was the main thing. Because, you know, I feel like there's going to definitely be some tension coming up that we started to see. And I feel like, especially once Marcos, like, explains about the ex and everything, it's just gonna get worse. So we're gonna enjoy it while it lasts. But I really did like this episode. I was kind of worried how Reed was gonna fit in, because I felt like he, for me, had always been the character I was least interested in, just because, like, he was just off on his own. So I feel like now if he can actually help and be, like, willing to listen and understand what the mutants need and how he can help them and how he can work against his former bosses, I think that would be really cool. And if he starts to see more of, like, how bad it is for mutants, like if he starts to see these detention facilities that are mind controlling them and everything, I feel like he's going to start being horrified. But he could also be a really good resource, because he knows the ins and outs, he knows the things. So before they change it, at least, and realize, you know, that he's on to them. I really did like this episode. If you have any thoughts or predictions on it, please feel free to leave those down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below if you want to make all sorts of new videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!